culture is actually pretty good.
We've got like egg in there.
And the kick runs into the end zone. That is a touchdown.
Seeing ghosts.
The season may be over, but that doesn't stop that NFL magic from happening. Where to get it is at That's Good Sports. All the football news, recaps, previews, and snark that may pass for the daily show. Well, maybe the current iteration of it. Come on, you know you want to subscribe to this goodness. The football addiction never dies. Let's see here, are the Panthers still a complete mess that it all but shut down after week 13? The answer is yes, isn't it? I can tell from how New Orleans could literally do whatever the hell they wanted to. You thought you'd take a look at Will Greer? Well, he was out of the game as quick as you could gauge him. There wasn't much there, trust me. Greg Olsen deserved a much better send-off than what he got. The less said about this season for you, the better. Two teams with little to play for. So what else can make this game ugly and unwatchable? Why, how about a constant rain making conditions even more miserable? The Bills played their starters for one quarter before pulling them to rest for more important matchups. The Jets' offense will still look like shit, but it does enough to pull off another meaningless win. 6-2 in the second half of play. Now imagine if you had CJ Mosley healthy and a head coach who isn't a divisive piece of shit. It could lead you to not being a punchline someday. Or this could be another year where you pretend to have hope only for it to fall apart again. I can't tell. The Vikings have nothing to play for as well, so they also rest their starters against a Bears team simply looking to give the Raiders a shittier pick. The usual stuff happened. Chicago's offense was garbage again. The defense was left out to dry in most circumstances to Sean Mannion. People wonder if Ryan Pace will die for this team's failure. The answer is probably not. The Bears finally have a kicker. It only cost you in a wasted season. Good job. You beat Minnesota's backups. You did it unconvincingly at the last moment. But you have a kicker now. That's what matters to you, right, Matt?
You know what? I'm an optimistic fan. I think the state of Ohio is going to see some good football in the coming years. Even though the season ended on a disappointing note, I thought they fought hard. Oh, wait. I thought you wanted me to talk about Ohio State. The Battle of Ohio? The only thing this shit show of a game ever tells us is who's closer to being fired. This time, Cleveland received the honor. We finally got rid of Freddie Kitchens. Now we can go get a real head coach as long as Dorsey doesn't hire another... Wait, Dorsey's gone too? What the fuck? Damn it, John. Why'd you have to be such an egotistical prick? Fuck you, Jimmy Haslam. Sell the goddamn team.
Who said that meaningless games couldn't be entertaining? When it's two rivals looking to find their identity, there's plenty to play for. The Falcons can pretend they can still be something, and the Buccaneers can try to at least finish the year on a high note. That would be possible if Matt Gay could kick a field goal in between the uprights. I hate to notify you of this, Tampa, but yes, you still need to find another kicker. This guy, like the last 5 you've had, ain't it. 22 points won't do it either since Atlanta is able to tie it up. It's amazing what having a kicker can do for a team. Young Waku drilling kicks. Sounds wonderful. With overtime on the horizon, Jameis gives this season a fitting end. A pick six! God, Winston is trash! What's the point of all the yardage if you keep turning the damn ball over, man? He's Russian roulette. If you're lucky, the bullet won't be loaded. He ain't it either, Tampa. It is confirmed. Arthur Blank has grown complacent and is settling for woeful underachieving. Even after a god-awful start which all but knocked them out of the playoff picture by week 8, they will be keeping the gang around. Thomas Dimitroff and Dan Quinn will linger on and piss away more talent. Everything's all roses and fucking sunshine because why not reward failure? The head coach does nothing but choking the GM through the team into potential cap hell. Arthur, have you been paying attention to how empty your new stadium has been? The fans are growing apathetic. This team needs a new voice. This level of talent should not go 7-9. You're trying to run this team like Home Depot and you just can't do that. So unless things change organizationally, I'm worried it'll be another wasted year for Atlanta. Don't let that happen. Stop me if you've heard this one before. The Green Bay Packers can't piece together a full 60-minute performance and are looking like shit against the team they should be beating the shit out of. Yep, it happened here as well. Maybe this time I'll overthrow my criticisms just like Aaron Rodgers has been doing to his passes. But don't you worry, Wisconsin, you're playing a team that's long been dead. You'll revive yourselves just in the nick of time to get bailed out due to the laundry list of reasons that could be explained. Today's just happened to be playing the Lions. The fact that this team, for as ugly as they play, gets a first-round bye is disgusting. There are far more worthy teams that deserve that honor more, but them's the breaks. You're frauds to me. Prove me wrong. This could be Phillip Rivers' final game as a Charger. What's more fitting for that than being buried by a team with far greater aspirations? At the very least, Kansas City seems to be getting hot at the right time. Or that could be just because the Chargers have no idea how to tackle anyone. Damian Williams was made to look like Eric Dickerson because of how much they gave up. It was something that a middle school coach would yell at you for. But enough of how awful they are, the Chiefs did their part. Now to see if the impossible happens. Patriots fans, this is the part that all of us are familiar with, but could be new to you. Your offense is turning into goat shit at rapid speed. There are few weapons to choose from. Even if there is one, Tom Brady isn't exactly in prime form. Father Time has seemingly managed to take him prisoner. He's in the 2015 Peyton Manning stage of his career. All he can do is game manage. He's not even doing that properly. It's hard for a defense, even as good as New England's, to do their job if the offense has fallen off of a map. The game would be uncomfortably close. So much for an easy victory. Do you know anything about how well Belichick's assistants play against the Grandmaster? It merely requires a sacrifice to win the game. For Miami, it cost them something cherished.
Fitzpatrick throwing over the middle, touchdown!
Their master-crafted tank. Way to fuck everything up, Miami. I won't go too hard on them for it, though. Their sacrifice was not in vain. The New England Patriots must play in a wildcard game. Kansas City gets a first-round bye. The world celebrates this joyous occasion. The evil has been defeated. For a day. Sorry they aren't dead yet, they never truly are. Just take this moment and run with it. You know what would make this moment even better for Miami? Having their best defensive player be arrested for domestic battery. Yeah, you heard that right. The final NFL game at the Los Angeles Coliseum. You'd think it'd have a little more weight on it, but a disappointing Rams season will take the luster off. Seems like a lot of LA didn't give a fuck about it either. It was a good game at least. 2 offensive performances worthy of a nice send-off. The Rams pulling through to give their last season a hint of respectability. Maybe someday both teams will be able to reload their defenses with talent. The Cardinals at least have that chance, despite significant questions needing to be answered about coaching. For the Rams, it'll be tougher. No first-round picks until 2022. Jacksonville thanks you for the bounty. Here's where the real shit starts happening. For Oakland to make it in, a lot needs to happen. Them to win, Indy to win, and Pittsburgh and Tennessee to lose. Good luck. This is where that god-awful scoring differential and sloppy play as of late comes to bite the Raiders in the ass. Add a bunch of injuries to that and Oakland can't get out of their own damn way. Missed field goals, turnovers, 3-and-outs, you name it. They limp without any sort of gain for balance. Denver just has to sit back and take a modest lead, in spite of the Broncos doing nothing with the golden opportunities their rival has given them. The Raiders may be a terrible team, but they still have pride. They are going to make this a game. Once again, because Denver is also terrible. The Oakland Raiders score on the back of Derek Carr on the final play of the game. John Gruden knows the stakes. Time is running short and the Broncos haven't done much on offense. Fuck overtime, they're ending it here.
Batted down! Shelby Harris!
Too bad it's for them. The only thing I'm surprised about is that it took this long for this damn team to officially be eliminated. They've done nothing but piss off Oakland this decade and they're off to be another tourist trap in Las Vegas. The sad part is that it'll probably work because the NFL has no soul. Karma's for the weak. Okay, so this game didn't mean a damn thing whatsoever. Indianapolis must have gotten that message and lied down to die. A lost season started with a catastrophic retirement, ends with a whimper. Jacksonville gives what could be a final send-off to many of their key players from the Saxonville era. You know what would make this even more special? Fumbles. Lots and lots of fumbles. Game long over. Jim Irsay is too busy playing guitar to even give a shit about it. This season now becomes a what-if for the ages. Fitting. Jacksonville, don't think you're out of the woods. Shahid Khan sees what Arthur Blank has been doing up in Atlanta and wants some of that Kool-Aid for himself. There is nothing else wrong with his team. Doug Marrone and Dave Caldwell will be back. Yes, because that's going to solve how you've alienated nearly every single player with a dam. So apparently Marrone's questionable tactics and Caldwell's botching of the QB position are worthy of reward. You cut off the head and are okay with the body flailing around aimlessly until it dies. It's time to face facts. 2017 was a mirage. You haven't learned a damn thing. Enjoy dealing with the same shit in 2020. God, what a joke. Pittsburgh's scenario is easy enough. They must win and the Titans lose to clinch the 6th seed. Steelers will look like shit in the postseason, but fuck it. False hope has been a calling card. Wouldn't you guess it, the Steelers' offense plays like hideous shit. Don't even try to argue with me about the weather conditions, they would have been horrible with nothing going on. Baltimore even flaunted the unimportance of this game by resting the majority of their starters on offense. With a rare RG3 sighting, they still did better than the Black and Gold Brigade. Even with everything to play for, Pittsburgh's defense can't do literally everything when the offense is so immobile that it could apply to Beyond My 600-pound life. Maybe it'll make this team more productive if they end up on there. They spent the offseason trying to shed themselves of a good deal of organizational cancer. All the chemo did was wither any semblance of an offense this team had. Now everyone will pretend that Big Ben will save this team when he'll be 38 coming off of a major elbow surgery. This usually doesn't end well, you know? I'll skip the whole hoopla and buzz. The Titans have made the playoffs by default with the Steelers and Raiders losses. That's fine, no one cares. Houston doesn't either. They're resting key starters for this matchup, bringing us a reunion of Sportsball and AJ McCarron. It wasn't much of a relationship before, and it shows here. Tennessee had some things to play for, and they did just that. Derrick Henry was his usual wrecking ball self. Tannehill laughs in Miami while he revives his career. It is enough to win the true prize for these hardened warriors. It is the reward that keeps on giving. Death, taxes, and the Titans going 9-7. All constants of life as of late. It's more reliable than time itself. I'm that confident. The Dallas Cowboys have only one option. Win and a Philadelphia loss. That is the only way they'll avoid humiliation. At least they managed to do their part for once. There was only ass-kicking of the highest order. Dak put in his final arguments for someone overpaying the shit out of him this spring. Zeke was unstoppable. There was no mercy for there is manifest destiny in their futures. Hail to the Deadskins. Not much else needs to be said on that front. The real game for them to follow is at MetLife. So the Eagles are injured to fucking back. You know what this game needed? More injuries. Because the gods apparently want to screw you over every waking moment. Let's flash back to earlier in the year. Philadelphia was in disarray. Leaks from the locker room were being thrown out every week on how shitty of a teammate Carson Wentz was. The fan base was clamoring for Nick Foles and his awful contract to be brought back to save them from this ginger. See, there was a reason why I considered Wentz to be the least of their issues. It's because he's been the only damn reason why the Eagles have been on the winning streak they've been on. It's what great quarterbacks do. They elevate the team around them. His weapons are a converted quarterback and an undersized 6th-round pick in Boston Scott. The Giants have a fumble master in Daniel Jones. That is enough to do the job. The Eagles once again defy all odds and limp into a division title that no one wanted to win. Now can everyone shut the fuck up about Carson Wentz being a cancer? Your team is far too injured to do anything of note, but you get a game at the Link. Positive? So the Eagles won, eh? You know what your punishment is for colossal failure? Oh god, you did make it! God, you are trash! So Dallas, you gonna get rid of Jason Garrett or what? This shouldn't be hard. He's a terrible coach who's well past his expiration date, Jerry. Don't let your ego get in the way yet again. Nike swoosh. Just do it. Everything is settled in stone, except for the seeding in the NFC. This game is for all of the marbles. San Francisco is gunning for revenge and the #1 seed. The Seahawks just wanting the NFC West crown. And for that joy, an old rusted weapon has been brought in to bring about all the feels. Beast mode. It doesn't matter that the 49ers are up to a quick 13-0 lead. Just look at Marshawn get stuffed on a 4th and 1. Wait, let's fast forward. The second half would be an offensive showcase, flashing their incredible potential for greatness, even with injuries taking down a lot of Seahawks over the past few weeks. The time has come for a final drive, one that will change the entire outlook of the NFC. Seattle has the rallying cries of the fans and Pete Carroll in the distance. They push forward, but a 4th down approaches. What do? They convert it. A perfect opportunity to get revenge for a certain play that happened years ago. Or they would if they didn't get called for delay of fucking game. Really? Delay of game at this hour? The only thing that would make this worse is blatant ref ball, because that's been happening a good bit in this game as well. Wouldn't you guess it that happened? The refs care so little for the new rule that they didn't even review this blatant pass interference. This rule is a disaster. Now it comes down to one more chance.
And here we go, and Wilson throws caught. And it is going to be Hollister.
It's like most of us in the bedroom. 2 inches short. Even when not playing, the Saints are still getting fucked by NFL officials. They are the 3rd seed as San Francisco gets home field advantage. Seattle goes into full meltdown mode bitching about refs just like they did after Super Bowl 40. The more things change, the more they stay the same. This should get interesting. So endeth another whimsical year of NFL football. I think this year will go down as one of great transition. A lot of longtime stalwarts could be goner shells of themselves after this. Super Cam, Phillip Rivers, Eli, Greg Olsen, Adam Vinatieri, Andrew Luck, Big Ben, maybe even Brady. Not to mention the relentless flash-in-the-pan quarterbacks that came and went in weeks. Many disappointments and surprises to us all, but now it's playoff time. I'll see you all in the Haters Guide. How is the NFL gonna fuck it all up this year? The football gods are hungry for the blood of failure. Black Monday is their holiday. Let us reminisce about the fallen. I knew this guy was going to fail with the G-Men for one reason. He was the former head coach of the Cleveland Browns. Has anything good ever come out of there after leading that depressing helm? His new tenure was like his previous one, getting outcoached and outclassed at nearly every stop on the docket. I wouldn't celebrate if I were you, Giants. Your organization is so inept that they think Dave Gettleman is doing good work. I'm going to say that's a resounding no. Your team's head is up its ass. Get it fixed. The culture never fucking existed to begin with. I'm more surprised Dan Snyder cut loose his drinking buddy. As an executive, he was the epitome of incompetent, and the only good that came out of it was when he didn't have control of football ops. He was confrontational, arrogant, and naive to the real issues that he himself caused. Dude should have been fired years ago. Good riddance. Despite the move, it means nothing since Snyder is the core issue and he shall eternally remain. At least Bruce can keep winning off the field. In the unemployment line, everyone wants the next Sean McVay. To unearth the next great coach of the league by means of an unknown candidate that people overlook. People are so enamored by McVay that they tend to forget their volatility. This is the risk. You get a man who is completely inept at all things related to the job. To be fair, the Browns situation was one where a veteran coach would have trouble. But Kitchens easily put together the worst coaching job this league has seen since Hugh Jackson. He kept making the same damn mistakes over and over again. Terrible play calls, underutilizing his running backs, having no respect for his opponents, yet receiving none from his players. With how weak the AFC was, the Browns should have made the playoffs. Kitchens is a main reason why they didn't. No, Freddie, you didn't start anything. All you were was finished by the initial press conference. Get back to being a position coach and learn from your fuck-ups. The Browns fired Dorsey? Why? Look, I get he built a fantasy team while gutting the offensive line and chose horribly on the head coach, but this early? Dorsey wasn't doing a completely horrible job. He was the best GM this iteration of the Browns have ever had. Sad, yes. There's a time to blow everything up and this wasn't it. Here's my question. If you suddenly want to go back to an analytical approach, then why the fuck did you abandon it to begin with? You knew damn well the consequences of such a dismantling and now you suddenly want to dismantle again? Oh no, we had a shitty season, time to fire everyone! You aren't winning with this clown at the top, Cleveland. Can Aslam fuck off to prison already? I'm tired of this shit. There is no mercy for the weak. Amen.
Hardman is back there. He'll bring it out. Nicole Hardman gets a block from Sherman. Gets a block from Thompson. He's off to the races. Cuts inside. You can kiss him goodbye.